you go to a traditional publisher. Lots of people see that as the holy grail. There are people who have been to traditional publishers. They're now self-publishing once they've built up the following. You see that quite a lot. And it's very, very hard to get a traditional publishing deal. They really are interested in commercial proposition. So they're looking for people who they know has already got an audience for the book. Unless you've got something that is completely absolutely fits with their genre and has a completely new angle, or they can see a commercial potential. So, for example, somebody that we know, Jamie, published a book. She managed to get a Simon and Schuster deal because her book was about Goldman Sachs. It was all linked in with the Me Too, and so it hit a particular spot. So even though she didn't have the following, she didn't have a commercial proposition as such, she was able to get a book deal. So it's not impossible to get a book deal with a traditional publisher. You lose control over the content of the book. Traditional publishers might ask you, they might say, I like your book, but we want you to do this with it. They don't give you much in the way of support. They don't actually give you much in the way of marketing. The authors are still expected to do that, and it will take a couple of years for you to get the book out if they accept you and the book. And they're usually looking for more than one deal. So they're not just looking to get one book, they're looking to get more. It's a route that many people are not going down, even though it's kind of seen as the holy grail. Oh, I've got a book deal, and that makes me, something important. The opposite end of the spectrum is to do it all yourself, and it is possible to do it all yourself for very little outlay. That was how Daily Yarns got put out into the world. I just decided I was going to see what it was like to get a book out into the world. And I can't tell you how many mistakes I made and how long it took. It's because of that, I started this business when people started asking me for help. And so over the last 4 years, I've really learned about how to get a book out and a book published, how to make it as professional as possible. And I've been really delighted with the feedback that I've had from people about how professional the book looks. And so that's the thing about going down the self-publishing route. You don't really know how to make the book professional. And getting a book out through somebody like me will still take you the best part of 6 to 8 months from when the manuscript is finished. Because what we want to be doing is making sure that the book's finished, then it's proofread, so the interior is as high quality as it can be. We send it to an interior formatter who then makes sure that it's as professionally formatted on the interior as possible. And then once that's done, then we get the cover art done, although we'll do the cover beforehand. With somebody like me, you have absolute control over all of that. The cover designer that I work with, when he works for traditional publishers, he's asked for 2 cover options for his books. This cover designer, he will come up with as many options as you need until you're happy with the cover. And then what we do is we make sure that we're absolutely spot on with everything before we announce what a publication date is, because we want to make sure that we've got the book in our hands, that it's absolutely perfect in print. And then you've got time to think about the marketing before you do the book launch, because it's hard to think about the marketing while you're doing all of that. And the marketing piece is absolutely important if you're going to get the book out into the world. And part of what we do, we work with Jacqueline Hollows, has really done some good work in terms of understanding and helping people to find a marketing plan that suits an individual to get the book out into the world.